Hey there, Cyber Samurais, and welcome to Sodium Content. I upload clips of games I enjoy and ramble about topics no one cares about. Cyberpunk 2077 was meant to have 2 expansions, but only one ever saw the light of day. What happened to the second DLC? And what kind of story was CD Projekt Red planning before they scrapped it? Today we'll explore what could have been, based on leaks, developer comments, and educated speculation. Originally, CD Projekt Red planned a second major expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 alongside Phantom Liberty, but in late 2022, they officially confirmed that Phantom Liberty would be the only DLC. Why? Because Cyberpunk was transitioning to Unreal Engine 5 for its sequel, codenamed Orion. Insider reports suggest the second expansion was in pre-production, but was quietly shelved. So what kind of story were they planning? Let's look at the clues. One of the strongest theories suggests the second DLC would have focused on the Blackwall and rogue AIs. Why? Because Phantom Liberty barely scratched the surface of this concept, and yet it's one of the biggest mysteries in the cyberpunk world. The Blackwall is a digital barrier separating humanity from the rogue AIs that lurk beyond. The main game and Phantom Liberty hint that these AIs are more dangerous and perhaps more intelligent than we realize. One cut concept suggests players could have worked with Netwatch, or against them, to either fortify the Blackwall or tear it down. This could have completely altered the balance of power in Night City. Some fans also believe the second DLC was meant to explore Pacifica's hidden depths. The Voodoo Boys, who are obsessed with breaking the Blackwall, could have played a major role. Maybe we were meant to see a full-scale war between AIs and megacorporations, one that CD Projekt Red never got to tell. Another theory suggests the second DLC would have focused on the Nomads and the Crystal Palace. This idea comes from old, data-mined files mentioning new vehicles, out-of-Night City locations, and references to orbital travel. If this is true, the expansion might have let us join a Nomad mission outside of Night City, maybe even heading to the Crystal Palace, the massive space station controlled by the rich and the powerful. We know from Phantom Liberty that orbital strikes exist, so what if we were meant to take part in a heist or a sabotage operation beyond Earth's atmosphere? This would have been an insane shift for Cyberpunk, taking us from the streets to the stars, but it's possible CD Projekt Red scrapped this because of technical limitations or because they wanted to save it for a future game. But here's the thing. Cyberpunk 2077 already has a major reference to the Crystal Palace and its secret ending. If V takes the solo path, they rise to power as the new fixer running the afterlife, becoming one of the most influential players in Night City. That path culminates in a final, high-stakes job, a heist on the Crystal Palace. So, why did the second DLC get cancelled? The answer seems to be a mix of time, money, and Cyberpunk's troubled past. After Cyberpunk 2077's disastrous launch, CD Projekt Red spent 2 years fixing the game. That meant less time to develop expansions. By the time Phantom Liberty was ready, the studio had already shifted its focus to the next Cyberpunk game, so they decided to cut their losses and move on. There's also the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 runs on the Red engine, which CDPR is abandoning. Developing another expansion would have meant more time refining an engine they planned to leave behind. From a business perspective, it made more sense to start fresh with Cyberpunk Orion. Even though we'll never get this second DLC, Cyberpunk isn't dead. CD Projekt Red is already working on Cyberpunk Orion, the full sequel. Will they revisit these lost ideas in the next game? Maybe, but one thing's for sure, the world of Cyberpunk still has plenty of stories left to tell. What do you think the second DLC would have been about? Would you have preferred an AI war, a Nomad adventure, or something completely different? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, please support the video with a like, and if you want to see more Cyberpunk content, consider subscribing. Thanks for tuning into Sodium Content. Stay salty.